So let's start with this video here because this was very interesting. And actually, one of the people, it's funny, one of the Living in the Future members reached out last night and said, the John Trump Bitcoin is a deep one. And I figured that. I was kind of aware of this before, but I didn't put two and two together until yesterday. But so this is, I just want to listen to. Here, let me turn this down, but I want to find the right spot. All right, here it is. So, as mentioned on yesterday's show, he's talking about his uncle, John Trump, was apparently one of the most important and influential people at MIT. I think he got a very big distinction award there, John Trump. And I was just wondering, like, I thought to myself, why the hell is he talking about this right now? What does this have to do with anything? Because as I think it was Odell talked about yesterday, but he said, I think that the reason why most people were thrown off by this speech or like, what the hell just happened is because they've never watched a Trump speech before. They've never seen Trump speak in a full version. And he does things differently than most. It's like he says something of great importance, and then he'll just ramble on about something and the Democrats for the next 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and then he'll throw another one out there. So this was the John Trump stuff. So let's just watch this, and it has to do with energy. So we'll watch a couple minutes of this. I think we're in approximately the right spot here.
I want the United States to be first in technology, first in science, first in manufacturing, first in artificial intelligence, and first in space. You know, at MIT, my uncle was a professor there, Dr. John Trump. He would have fit in with this room very nicely, actually. That's why I mentioned it. And I believe he was the longest serving.
Okay, it's things like that Trump says that nobody really pays attention to. But he said he would have fit in very nicely with this crowd. He also talks about the high IQ, the very intelligent people in the room. Just things like that. So let's keep listening.
Professor in the history of MIT. He graduated. We have a very intelligent family, actually. He graduated tremendously. I think he has 3 different degrees, but they said, would you like to stay on, John, and be a professor? Well, I've got a lot of offers, I assume he said, but I've got a lot of offers. Well, he was there for, I believe, 41 years. When I was in the White House, the head of MIT came to see me, and they presented me with a book on my uncle. He was a legendary guy in the academic world and in the world of MIT. So I understand a lot about what you're doing, and I have great respect for highly intelligent people. And you are highly intelligent. America's destiny is to lead our rivals in everything and to surrender our industries to no one, You know, some of you are involved with AI, but you also have the same thing. You need a thing called electricity. You need a lot of electricity. You know, AI needs to be really dominant, and China can do it much easier. We have environmental impact statements to do, but we're going to do things that nobody thought were possible. You need tremendous amounts of electricity. You need double the electricity of the entire electricity that we have right now in the United States to dominate. And we'll get that done. Who would think we can get that done? But we're going to get it done. We'll be having power plants built at the sites. We'll be releasing people from certain ridiculous requirements. And we'll be using fossil fuel to make electricity because we're going to have to. We'll be using nuclear. We'll be doing it in an environmentally friendly way. But we will be creating so much electricity that you'll be saying, please, please, President, we don't want any more electricity. We can't stand it. You'll be begging me, no more electricity, sir. We have enough. We have enough. You know, in the Midwest, they just opened, it was very interesting. They just opened up 2 chargers. You know, a charger.
Oh, God, he kills me. All right. So what do I want to talk about there for the first part? Oh, the book. He said that when he got into the White House, they invited him to MIT and they gave him a book. So just keep that in mind here. I'm not sure if John Trump actually had a book that he wrote or if it was something else, because listen to this. So hold on. Let me get the Zap stream up first here before I do this, just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Trump founded Space Force. Yes, he did. And Space Force has a lot to do with Bitcoin. But anyways, this is about John Trump. This is from Venice AI. So he talked about his uncle at MIT. He talked about being highly intelligent. He talked about how well he would fit into this crowd, very intelligent crowd. And then he talked about energy and how much energy is required to go into the future that we're going. The AI databases, the Bitcoin mining. And he said, we're going to produce so much electricity and energy that you're going to beg me to stop in typical Trump fashion. But listen to this. So speaking of energy, he said that, and then he talked about energy right after that. And so it says John G. Trump, an American physicist and electrical engineer, was a cousin of Nikola Tesla, the famous inventor and electrical engineer. While they shared a familiar connection, there isn't much known about their personal relationship. However, John Trump did work closely with Tesla during the latter's final years in New York City. In fact, after Tesla's death in 1943, Trump oversaw the disposal of his cousin's belongings and intellectual property, including the contents of his New York hotel room and laboratory materials from his Wardenclyffe Tower project. Despite their familiar ties, John Trump played a crucial role in preserving Nikola Tesla's legacy and work. So he talked about John Trump. He talked about a book that they presented him with. He talked about energy. And so what was Tesla's big thing? Let me read this. Nikola Tesla proposed the idea of transmitting energy wirelessly through the earth, also known as earth renaissance. Is that renaissance? Resonance. Earth renaissance. Resonance? To create a global energy distribution system. He believed that this technology could make electricity freely available to anyone, anywhere on the planet, without the need for conventional power plants or long-distance transmission lines. So, call me crazy here, but do you not think that those two things might be related in terms of Trump talking about his uncle and then talking about having more electricity and more energy than we know what to do with? I don't know. But I knew that there was something there just by the fact that he just randomly threw that in there. So I don't know. Because I subscribe to the theory that we're going to move into a world completely different, like unrecognizable different than we are in today. And part of that is going to include pretty much free everything. Free energy, free food, anything that you need, you're going to be able to have it just because it's available. We have the ability to do that right now. And we're going to unlock it through things like Bitcoin and Bitcoin mining, where we shift the burden of having to fund it from human resources, paying income taxes, to natural resources of Bitcoin mining using resources that the earth provides. So just imagine that world, because it's coming. I don't know when, I don't know how soon, but it's coming.